Thursday Night Football, Week 10. Raiders at Broncos. When you hear that, you think history, bitterness, a classic AFC West primetime brawl. But let's be real. This ain't your daddy's rivalry. This is a tale of two franchises heading in completely opposite directions. On one side, you have the Denver Broncos. They're 7-2, sitting pretty atop the division, tied for the best record in the AFC. They're riding a 6-game winning streak, the longest in the NFL, and they haven't lost at home in 9 straight games. The Raiders. They're 2-and -6, stuck in the division cellar. After winning their opener, they've dropped 6 of their last 7. The betting line says it all. Broncos by 9.5 points. So, the question tonight isn't if the Broncos will win. The question is how they're winning, and if the Raiders even have a puncher's chance. Let's start with Denver. This 7-2 record. It's the ugliest 7-2 I've ever seen. And I mean that as a massive compliment to Coach Sean Payton. This is not a team that blows you out. This is a team built to win ugly. 5 of their 7 wins have been by a single score. Last week against Houston, a perfect example. An 18-15 defensive slugfest won on a last-second field goal. Here's the stat that defines this team. The Broncos are a perfect 4-0 in games where they were losing going into the fourth quarter. They are the NFL's cardiac kids. Their formula is simple. A top 5 defense paired with a relentless, clock-controlling run game. The offense is led by second-year QB Bo Nix, who has been the perfect game manager for this system. He's not flashy, but he's smart and efficient. He's got 17 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions. He takes what the defense gives him. Then, he hands the ball off to J.K. Dobbins and rookie RJ Harvey, who power a top 7 rushing attack built to just bleed the clock dry. Now, let's look at the Raiders. For them, the season is basically over. They brought in Super Bowl winning coach Pete Carroll, but the magic just isn't there. Their entire season was summed up last week, a 30-29 overtime heartbreaker to the Jags, where Carroll, ever the gambler, went for a game-winning 2-point conversion and failed. Moments of promise, ending in yet another loss. That's the 2024 Raiders, and their own front office seems to agree. They waved the white flag at the trade deadline this week. They shipped their most reliable receiver, Jakobi Meyers, to the Jaguars for a couple of future draft picks. This move screams full rebuild. It also makes their offense, which was already 29th in the league in scoring, completely one-dimensional. So, let's recap. We have a one-dimensional, rebuilding 2-6 team on a short week, flying into the hostile environment of the 7-2 division leader. Sounds like a blowout, right? Well, here's the one piece of drama. The one variable that makes this game interesting. The Broncos are hurt! And they are hurt in the worst possible spot. Their secondary is an absolute mash unit. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year, quarterback Pat Surtain II, is OUT for this game with a pectoral injury. That is a massive, massive blow. But it gets worse. Safeties Brandon Jones and PJ Locke are both banged up, as is corner Riley Moss. This isn't just a next man up situation for Denver. This is a find a healthy body situation. This is the Raiders' only sliver of hope. Can they possibly exploit this? The problem for Vegas is how? By trading Jakobi Meyers. They just got rid of the exact player who would have feasted on the absence of an all-pro cornerback. So what's left? The offense now becomes the Brock Bowers show. The second-year tight end is an absolute monster. He just came back from injury last week and was the entire offense, 12 catches, 127 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The Raiders' game plan is no secret. They are going to try to funnel their entire passing game through Bowers, attacking the middle of the field and testing the health of those banged-up Broncos safeties. But this is the biggest butt of the night, Will. They even have time. Because this game is going to be decided by the Raiders' passing attack against the Broncos' injured secondary. This game is going to be decided by a colossal, unbelievable mismatch in the trenches. I'm talking about the Broncos' pass rush versus the Raiders' offensive line. Let's just look at the numbers. The Broncos under Vance Joseph, have the single most dominant pass rush in football. That's not an opinion, it's a fact. They lead the entire NFL with 40 sacks! They are first in sack rate and third in pressure rate. And it's not just one guy. Nick Bonito has 8 sacks. Jonathan Cooper has 7. Zach Allen has 5. They are coming from everywhere. And who are they facing? A Raiders offensive line that is one of the worst in the league at protecting their quarterback. And who's standing behind that line? Geno Smith. Geno is tied for the league lead with 11 interceptions. But here's the stat that should end the game. I call it the Geno-plosion. When Geno Smith is pressured, his interception rate skyrockets to a league-high 7.1%. That's the worst in the NFL. This is a complete nightmare scenario for Las Vegas. The NFL's #1 pass rush is facing the quarterback who is, statistically, the most likely player in the entire league to throw a pick when you get in his face. So, the keys to the game are simple. For the Raiders to win, they need a miracle. It looks like this. First, Geno Smith cannot hold the football. Period. It has to be screens, 3-step drops, and quick hits. 2 Bowers and rookie back Ashton Jean get the ball out before that rush gets home. Second, weaponize the Bowers funnel. Use motion and bunch formations to get Brock Bowers matched up on a linebacker or one of those injured safeties. They have to abuse that matchup all night long. And third, Max Crosby needs to be Superman. On defense, Crosby is a one-man show. He has to single-handedly wreck this game and give his struggling offense a short field because they are not driving 80 yards on this Broncos defense. Now, the keys for Denver. They're much simpler. Number 1, let the pass rush eat. Don't even blitz. Just trust your front 4 to win their one-on-one. The pressure will create the Geno Smith turnovers. It's statistically inevitable. Number 2, protect the MASH unit. The best defense for an injured secondary is to keep them on the sideline. This is a game to win ugly. Lean on that run game. Control the clock and bleed this game away. And finally, start fast. For once, don't rely on a fourth quarter comeback. Get a 10-point lead early. Force the Raiders to abandon the run. Make them one-dimensional. And then, well, see key number 1. Ultimately, the absence of Pat Surtain gives the Raiders a glimmer of hope. But the trade of Jakobi Meyers snatches it right back. This game won't be decided on the outside. It will be won in the trenches, where the Broncos' greatest strength is staring directly at the Raiders' most fatal flaw. Expect that Denver pass rush to dominate. Expect 2 or 3 turnovers from Geno Smith. And expect the Broncos to win their 7th straight game. What do you think's going to happen? Let me know your predictions down in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL content all season long. See you next time!